What's up, everybody? I had to turn the mic on. I almost forgot that. Well, I was trying to make this as short as possible, but sometimes with the access going on out here, let me get that out of my way just a little bit. Um, you just can't have a short live, especially when I'm coming in here and I'm trying to actually just show people that I'm not trying to make stuff up just to be talking, to hear myself talk on Facebook or on YouTube or on Twitter. Of course, Twitter is a stupid app anyway, so I don't care. Hey, push this out, hit the share button right down there. Hit that share button because for some reason I think I'm shadow banned on every platform. And if you know a lot of my posts and everything, probably going, yep, you probably are. Keep talking stuff that they don't like you to talk about. But come on, government. This, what I got to show you here, I'm not going to do any reading. So I probably just, I've been spending the time going through reading these things, but this is everything. You can go research it. You'll see the, what I'm pulling up and everything. So you'll actually be able to research it. Okay. But did y'all hear about this? Let me see if I can get on here and share this with you real quick. Let's hear. I ain't talking about Vladimir Putin. The US purchases radiation sickness drug, but that's not the one that I want to share with you just right yet. But that's the question I'm going to ask. Let's turn that one off. Let's see here. Put them in order. This one. I think I put $90 million on an anti pill used to save lives during a nuclear emergency. This is insider. You can go and you can research all that and you can pull it up and everything. So $290 million. Now, I want to show you it's getting ridiculous, okay? It's getting ridiculous here. Why did they purchase it? I want to show you the that is an actual name here. It's called Nplate. It's part of a long-standing ongoing efforts by the administration for strategic preparedness and response to better prepare the U.S. for potential health impacts of a wide range of threats to national security. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect our country from national security and or for national security and everything. I don't think that a lot of people realize exactly what this drug does. But that's what their plan is. Um, they want to try to protect. And I was talking about this at work today. It left this. We're going to stand up and fight for your rights. We're going to and fight for your freedoms. It left that now, and everywhere around the world is to protect you. Stand up for my freedoms, and I can freaking protect myself. Jeez, because why they bought this is not for the public. I guarantee you that it's not for the public. Um, what they're doing here is that this drug they want to tell everybody, sell them on the idea for spending all this money for some reason, is they're going to give it to you because if you get exposed to radiation, it can lead to internal bleeding. And this drug is actually used to fight internal bleeding, which I'll show you that in just 1 second. And I guess that's going to save your life. If you have been impacted with enough radiation to cause internal bleeding in your organs, your chance of survival is just about zero. And in most cases, it is zero. Um, and the only reason I know this, when I saw this thing, it absolutely was off the charts crazy and dumb is because my job deals with radiation and I have to know a lot of the effects of radiation, but I'm not just going to sit here and just spew it out to you. I want you to see it so you know that I'm not just saying stuff because I don't like this guy in charge. By the way, he's not in charge. But anyway, so let's go take a look here real quick. What they're talking about is acute radiation syndrome. Now, to have acute radiation syndrome or ARS, you have to be exposed to a high dose, something like a bomb, something like that. The radiation has to be able to reach your internal organs, so it has to be a penetrating gamma rays, X rays, neutrons, things like that. It has to penetrate and get in there. Your entire body or most of your body needs to actually be receiving the dose, and the dose was delivered to you in a short period of time. And let me tell you what, radiation moves quick. And in about a tenth of a second, you get a lot. Down here, you can see right here, the cause of death in most cases is the destruction of the person's bone marrow, which results in the infection and internal bleeding. The cause of death in most cases. So once you've actually received this radiation dose and you start bleeding internally, I don't think a pill is going to fix you. It's already done because there's so much damage done to the DNA and the mRNA, and I ain't talking about the V either. And all the damage and everything is inside the white blood cells, the red blood cells, the platelets are destroyed, the bone marrow is destroyed, things like that. And when they start reproducing, they're probably reproducing the effects that are actually they've changed, they've morphed a little bit, so you're not actually producing white blood cells anymore, or the platelets that you had, you're producing something else completely different, so they're not gonna work the same either. Now, what does radiation affect? What do they deal with here? Well, if you get 10,000 sieverts, you don't worry about all this measurements and stuff like that. It took me a long time to figure out. But 10,000 sieverts or more can cause a breakdown in your intestinal lining, leading to internal bleeding, which can lead to illness and death when the dose is, especially to the abdomen. Um, so just 10,000 millisieverts. We're not talking a whole, big numbers. Now 0 to 50 millisievert, 50 is what you receive over a short period of time, and this is considered a safe dose. Don't expect to see any observable health effects. So you see that there's not a whole long, and greater than 100,000 millisieverts, you got death within a few hours. There's no recovery. Radiation is not a something real easy that you're just going to go, "Ooh, I feel better and I'm healed." You're not going to do that, okay? So, we're looking at that. So what they have, and they've broke this down a little bit. There's this thing called they've named it a lethal dose, and it's trying to break stuff down. So when us lay people, because just because I know it, don't mean I know all about it. When we go out there and we start trying to look for stuff, it helps us a little bit. Now, if you don't work with radiation, you probably don't notice who this is, the US NRC, but it's the National Regulatory Commission. They're the ones who generate all the laws about radiation safety and everything like that. The states either follow the NRC or the states actually create a more stringent rule. It has to be stronger, not weaker. Florida actually has a stronger rule than the NRC, but still is based off the NRC, and ours is just about word for word. But this LD 5030, it's called a lethal dose, LD 5030. That's enough radiation to kill 50% of the exposed population within 30 days. So that's that's a lot of radiation. Pills ain't gonna fix anything there, okay? Shielding does, because you're not gonna have a time and distance because if it's happening right there. So shielding is your only protection in an event like that. And if you don't have any shielding or anything like that, as low as you can get to the ground, and hopefully most of that stuff passes over you with the shock wave that goes along. Um, but radiation is always gonna be around. Let's take a look one more here about that. This is actually from the CDC. Um, hematopoietic syndrome, which is the bone marrow only. If you don't have a whole lot of dose in here, you can see the doses here. A lot of times you will recover, but some more times you will die. And they got an LD 50/60. So the lethal dose to kill 50% of the population within 60 months. Or yes, 60 days. So they're giving it 2 months here. Your gastrointestinal, this is where all your bleeding comes from. Um, you can see here that this is between the 10 and the 1,000. Stem cells and bone marrow and cells lining your GI tract are dying, even though the patient might appear to be feeling good. This stage lasts about a week. Symptoms are anorexia, malaise, severe diarrhea, fever, dehydration, electrolyte imbalance. Death is due to infection, dehydrated, and electrolyte imbalance. Death occurs within 2 weeks of exposure. This is pretty quick. And cardiovascular and central nervous system, no recovery is ever expected. If it's affected that part of your body, there ain't a pill, okay? There's not a pill. And this administration and the media, I blame it on the media because they word this stuff so stupid that, hey, the government just bought a pill that's going to protect everybody in the United States from a radiation attack. Oh, no, no, no. Um, what's funny though about that end plate is it's been around for a little while, okay? And one of the things that I pretty much like to find is so where they screw up and don't tell anybody any of this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna tell you right here, right now. This is end plate romiplastim. Okay, this is used to treat ITP, immune thrombocytopenia. Okay, that means you're not making enough platelets. You need a little bit of help and to make up platelets. And this was what this does. Now, if you got leukemia and precancerous conditions of called like myelodiplastic syndrome (MDS), you don't use this drug. Okay, this ain't for that kind of stuff. But if you just have a low platelet count, you can use this end plate or whatever that other word is. I don't right here. I don't want to keep saying it because I probably keep messing it up. But you use it until you get your platelets back up so you can clot. If you don't have enough platelets, you can't clot, you'll bleed out. And the immune thrombocytopenia is when your immune system is attacking your own platelets. Okay. Now, that's what the end plate that they say will protect you from radiation. That's what it's for. So if you didn't have a whole lot of an exposure, I guess, and maybe just a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of your platelet count just dropped a little bit, it might help you then. But that means the bomb had to hit like in England, and you are on the other side of the world or almost the other side because the radiation goes around the world. However, yeah, let me show you this one. Oh Lord, I'm just about done, everybody. I'm just about done. COVID vaccine linked to low platelet count. Conditions that affect the blood known as idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, ITP. What we just saw. They've actually, and there's a whole bunch of stuff down through here, so we're not going to go read all of this stuff here, but they've actually found that people who have got the vaccine have turned up with immunothrombocytopenia. Now, if you go to the CDC website and you start looking in there, they actually talk about it in there, but it was like 9,000 pages. So I didn't want to come on here and try to show you all some of that stuff because it's 9,000 pages, crazy long. But then they also try to play on the words. They go, well, you know, out of 20 million people that got a shot, we expect 20 with to develop immunothrombocytopenia. We expect, may I tell you what? I said that about a year and almost 2 years ago, and I got kicked off 2 social media platforms and put in Facebook jail for it. But now all of a sudden it's a thing. And yeah, somebody might get on here and go, it's only 20. It's only 20 unless one of them's you. But the shot that they mandated for so many people, glad that mandate's over with for a lot, um, is developing ITP. And now are they trying to backpedal on something just to have a backup for the other 15 million that might end up developing it? I don't know. Not saying that it is. However, it's weird that all of a sudden everything that people were talking about and the ones that us were talking about it, we were called conspiracy theorists, murderers. We didn't care about anybody at all or anything like that. You know, started doing more tests and everything, and all of a sudden, all this stuff starting to come out. And if y'all haven't seen this yet, the Department of Health here in Florida conducted their own study and found out that mainly males between 18 and 39 have a higher chance of having myocarditis and cardiac related illnesses after the shot. Okay. In fact, this analysis found out there's an 84% increase in the relative incidence of cardiac related deaths, not sick, dead, dead among males 18 to 39 within 28 days following the mRNA vaccine. 28 days. So it just keeps coming out that the stuff that we were talking about is coming true here, but the government comes out with this end plate and they want to disguise it as the fact that this will protect you against radiation poisoning. Because if it goes to nuclear war, which is what Russia's talking about right now, and they're threatening and everything, if it goes to that, it ain't going to be one bomb. It ain't going to be one. There's going to be a bunch of them and they're going to be flying everywhere. And the whole entire atmosphere, too bad you green people out there, all that'll be global warming, definitely. Okay. I'll agree with you then. All these nuclear weapons start exploding. We will have global warming very quick, too. It ain't millions of years because there's no such thing. But you, it, if it won't help that, is it going to help save some of these people with the immunothrombocytopenia before some big lawsuits come on and find out that, hey, you made me do this. Now I got this. You never know. By the way, plutonium is the main radiation used in nuclear weapons and the nuclear bombs and everything. And by the way, just to let you know, the half-life of plutonium is a little over 20,000 years. So you're not getting away from it and running either. Just there. Better know where your heart is. That's what I'm saying. That yeah. Other than that, I don't care. Whatever. Let it do it. Come on, bam, whatever. But all this stuff that they're talking about, this little pill, there's no such thing as a miracle pill. It never helped anybody lose weight. It ain't gonna save your life from a nuclear explosion either. Crazy, crazy. All right, that's it. Told you I was gonna try to make this short and sweet. Had a few things on there. Let's see what's going on here. What do we got here? Don't rely on the government. The best you'll get is a blanket with small your dog shot and an unproven jab or duck and cover. Absolutely, tropical oasis. That yeah. Oh, that's one. I got to put that back up. I like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Brandy, baby, thanks for hopping on. Let's see what this one. And the government will only mass provide whatever is cheapest and most easily reproduced. Keep that in mind with anything hand out money. Absolutely. The thing about it is that when they made this up, they got this whole fun thing going on, millions of dollars going to research new stuff. And I'm telling you, 2025, we'll see what happens. But if you haven't looked at it yet, look Oh, Stephen, go look up SPARS, SPARS 2025, and John Hopkins. That John Hopkins SPARS 2025. There's about an 85 page pretend play out on the next pandemic. Huh. Wow. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Thank everybody for hopping on. Tropical Oasis is my son. He's on here and he's got his mind in the right spot. Tell you that right now. Y'all have a very wonderful and blessed evening. I will see y'all next time.